Hi, good morning, everyone again. If it's your first time here, I'm happy to have you guys here. It's nice to meet you. And if you've been here, thank you for always joining us on our webinars. So today, we'll be talking about why, Tracy will be talking about why it's crucial to have market research for your growing business. So before she goes into our session, I will just be setting out the agenda for today. So our Grow My Business webinar is a bi-weekly webinar. It happens twice a month. So we speak to industry experts from all around the world. And also they share resources and tools that will help you grow your business. So I'm going to set a bit of a house rules. So the webinar right now is being recorded. So just in case you miss anything Tracy or my colleague who will join us later, Joanne says, you can always, we'll be sharing the link later on for everyone to rewatch and probably just rewatch. So yeah, if you have any questions in between Tracy's session, you can just drop them in the Q&A chat box. So you don't need to put in the comment section. So it might get lost there. So you can always drop it in the Q&A box. And then after Tracy's session, we'll be having Adejo, my colleague. So he was telling us what Flutterwave has for business owners today. And then after that, we'll jump into the Q&A section. So so I'm going to allow. So today we're speaking to Tracy Cheelo. She's from Zambia, and she's the CEO of Find Technology, an e-commerce platform in Zambia. So she's going to go right into her session, and she's just going to introduce herself and tell you more, and then go on with the topic. Hi, Tracy, are you there?
I am here.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Tracy Cheelo. I'm the CEO of Find Technology. So basically what Find Technology does is that we have an e-commerce platform where you can buy and sell goods. So we sign up different shops to put their goods online, and then we sell, and then we provide logistics as well. Okay, so my topic for today, what I'll be talking about is why market research is crucial and important in growing a business. Market research is very important in a business because before you start any business, you need to know the first thing I'm going to say is it helps you understand your customers well. If you don't know anything about your customers, then you will not be able to sell your products. Customers are the people who will buy your products. So you need to know what the customers want, what the customers need, and you will know this if you do a market research. It's very crucial. The answers to these questions about what the customers want, what the customers need, you will be able to provide the products that will go in the market and will be able to sell. So it's very important. For example, for us, what we actually found out is if you look at our website, we have a lot of cosmetics on there. And we have those cosmetics because we know as our African skin, we always need to moisturize, we always need lotion, we always need perfumes as ladies, makeup and stuff like that. So we have more of that because these are the things that our people need like on everyday basis. When you take a shower, you always need to put on lotion. So these are the type of products that we're trying to provide for our customers. And by doing a market research before we started the business, enabled us to know what is needed. We have a variety of products, but we concentrate more on stuff that is needed for the customers every day. And then the second one is market research helps you to know your competitors and how they operate. So before you go into a business, you always need to know your competitors. When we started Find, that was in 2017, there was little to no competition. But after COVID hit, a lot of people started coming on board. We started seeing more e-commerces, more food delivery, we have Afri delivery and different others. So you need to know how the competition operates. And when you do a market research, it will enable you to find out who your competitors are, how they operate, and also the coming up players, because it's always a growing market and competition is very healthy. So it is important to know your competitors, and then you need to identify the niche, like what is missing from your competitors so that you can provide that service. So it is very important. And market research will also help you find out the weaknesses of your customers and what their strengths are. When you find out the weaknesses, this can be your biggest strength. You'll be able to see the gap that your competitors are not filling, and then you will be able now to fill in that gap. Yeah. And then also knowing as much as you can about your competition is crucial to the success of your business. If you have no information about your competitors and you enter into a business that you have no idea about, for a business, it needs to be a solution to something. And when you look at your competitors, you look at what's missing. What are they not doing? How can I come in as a business to fill in that gap? So if you do a market research, you'll be able to find out the weaknesses of your competitors, how they operate, their strengths. That's why it's very important for you to do a market research. And the third one is when you do a market research, you need to test your products. So testing your product before launch is very important because you might launch a product that's maybe not needed in society. And then it will not be able to sell, or you will not be able to have a successful business if you haven't tested your product. So it's extremely important. You need to learn what works before jumping into the business. And by doing a market research, this will help you to know, like, is the product that you have going to work? For example, when we were launching Find, the first thing we wanted to do a classified app or mobile app. But after doing market research, we found out like the classified is a bit more whereby we are just like a third party. People advertise what they're selling. Even if you're selling headsets or a handbag, you can just take a picture and then you post it, and the buyer talks to the seller, and we're just the middle person advertising what the buyer is selling. And what we found out is that by then there was not a lot of trust when it comes to online platforms, because we had a lot of fraud whereby someone can say, I'm selling this, and then you pay them the money and then you don't receive your goods. So after doing that and finding out that information, we decided, let's build an e-commerce platform where we can sign up shops, and at least we'll be able to talk to these shops and ask them, see the products that they're selling to make sure that they're legit. And then when the client buys, we then deliver to the client. So we have that safety net where the client feels safe and also the buyer feels safe and the seller is also feeling safe. So it was important for us to find that out, because we would have put a wrong product in the market, which wasn't needed, and would probably face a lot of complaints of theft. But by doing it the e-commerce way, we have that safety net because we know the type of products that we have on our site and the types of products that the buyer will be buying. So we are creating a bit of trust and building that brand. So if we didn't do the market research, we wouldn't have found out this information. And you can never be sure that your product is 100% what the client needs, or it will instantly connect with the client. So by doing a market research or like testing your product before you launch it, you will be able to know, okay, is this what the client needs? Do they need anything else? So that will help you in understanding what type of products, if you need to change your product range in order to cater for what the clients want, then the market research will be able to help you to do that. So it's very crucial. And again, a market research will also help you not to go out of business. Because as we know, market research is a continuous process. You just don't do it before the business. You continue to do these researches from time to time because times are always changing and business is always changing. The trends are always changing. For example, if you sell maybe clothes or you're into fashion, in the fashion industry, fashion is always evolving and changing as the years go by. So if you started your business of selling clothes maybe 5 years ago or 10 years ago, you will not be selling the same clothes that you were selling 5 years ago because fashion is always changing and you always need to be up to date and keep the trend going. And doing a market research will also make you improve the type of goods that you have. By finding out the trends and what's going on, you'll be able to change your product line and actually cater for what the client needs, because their needs and wants always change as time goes by. It's like season. If it's in summer, you're not going to sell winter coats or winter boots. If it's summer, you need to sell clothes that people can wear in summer. If it's really hot, you need to look into maybe selling water. Water sells more when it's hot. And when it's not hot, maybe you can change the water sizes to smaller bottles, which will be able to cater for the customers then. So you will be able to know this if you do a market research and you continuously do the research in order to grow your business. The other point of market research being important is that it helps your business grow. Market research will keep you up in the market. Like I said in the previous point, you always need to follow the trend. And in order for your business to grow, you need to know what's happening in the market and in the type of country that you are. You need to know the demands. You need to look at the opportunities that you have in hand. For example, a business has 3 stages in development, which is the first one is the development stage, the second is the growth stage, and the third one you have the maturity stage. So as the business is growing, it will reach a certain point where it's maturity. And for you to keep making money, for you to keep increasing your income, you need to diversify. You can't just be providing the same product over and over again. As time changes, you need to look at the trends, you need to look at what is going on and diversify your business. And market research will also help you know the opportunities available in order for you to actually diversify. So for example, if we have the e-commerce platform, our plan is to always follow the trend to see what the people want and what the people need so that we'll be able to provide for them what they need and want. And we want to diversify, at least we have like a 10-year future plan, because you should be able to also predict the growth and the changes that are coming so that you don't face a lot of risks. And it will help you, market research will help you to reduce the risk a business is taking in itself, but it is also crucial to do market research in order to avoid more risks, because starting a business itself is taking a risk. So for you to avoid more risks, it's very important to do market research so that you know you can be able to predict changes, and that will help you a lot in the future. When you do market research, it will enable you to grow your business. You find out how can we diversify the business? What else can we do different? And all these questions will be answered if you do a market research. So it's very crucial. And then I will be giving you some tips on how a market research can be conducted, because this is a continuous process that you always need to take. Even if your business has grown, you still have to continue so that you see the trends, you see what's going on, and then in that way you'll be able to improve your business and always make it better into what the customers need. So because business is constantly changing, it can be difficult to keep up with the pace of all these changes. And now the concept of marketing has changed due to advancement in technology. As a leader of a business, we are supposed to always keep up with these trends. All the time, you always need to research in order to make use of the resources that you have. So the first tip I'm going to give is we need to remember that market research is an ongoing process with an ever-changing society, and customers are ever-changing as well in what they want and their needs. So as a business, we need to keep up in order to grow and to stay in business. You need to find out the trends, and I'm constantly talking about trends because they're always changing. So you need to keep up with these trends. Always find out what's new in the market. What do the people need now? So that you're able to grow your business and you're able to provide what the customers want. And the second tip is you need to know your objectives before you actually start doing your market research. You need to know, like, what is the business trying to achieve? What are you trying to provide? What gap are you trying to fill as a business before you do the market research? This will enable you not to waste time in things that you're not supposed to be looking at. You need to have your objectives set, and you need to know what your business is trying to achieve, who your target market is, and so on. Because you can't provide for all the population. As you are starting your business, you need to know, like, who is my target market? And when you are doing that research, you are going to concentrate on your target market and what you are trying to achieve. It's very important. Like, for example, for us, our target market is people who are both in the formal and informal sector. By the formal, these are people that are always working. They're always in the office. They don't have a lot of time to do their shopping. Even on the weekends, maybe they want to spend time with their families. So we try to come up with a solution in that they can buy their stuff in the comfort of their office and it will be delivered to their preferred location. So a working mom, if you're tired, you don't want to go to the grocery store, you don't want to go out to buy stuff. And in these times of COVID, it's a safe way for people to buy their goods and services. So you need to know the people you're targeting, and how these products that you're going to provide for them, if they really need these products. Because if you provide products that these customers don't need, then they will not buy from you. So you need to know your target market, what their needs and wants are. So it's very important to do market research. The other tip I'm going to talk about is you need to study your customers. You need to understand what they like, what they need, and also their behavior. Like, for example, in Zambia, promotions are they draw in the crowds. Just when they hear there's a promotion, and we found this out we did a promotion ourselves. We tried to attract more people to our site. So we had a promotion done, and in a week we got more than 1,000 people visiting our site. We got a lot of phone calls asking about the site. We just advertised the banners that we had about the promotion and the goods that were on promotion on Facebook and sponsored the ad. And the traction that we got on the site was amazing. So you need to know how are you going to draw in the crowd? How are you going to draw in your customers? So you need to know like what your customers like, what would draw them in. So your geographical location is also important. What will work for us here in Zambia is not necessarily going to work for another country. So you need to know where you are and you need to study the customers that are in your area or location or country, because it's very vital. What works for another business or another country doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work the same for you as well. That's why we really need to do market research to find out what type of market we're in, what type of people are we dealing with, how can we draw in those people. And by finding out those information, you'll be able to find the answers. And if you understand your customers, you'll be able to create a great marketing strategy. Like the example I gave of us, our marketing strategy was to do promos, put affordable prices. And if we look at the time now, COVID hit us so bad and the economic situation is not so great. So how are we going to be able to draw in the people to buy what we want? If we provide affordable products that they need, then it will draw in the people. You'll be able to sell your products, people will be able to visit the site, your business is going to grow, because in return, you're helping the people in that the economic situation is bad and you're providing goods that are affordable for them to buy. Yes, the fourth tip is if you need to share your results with your employees. Once you've completed your market research, it is very important that you share the results of that market research and the information that you found out to your team, because they will be able to work around that information. It will act as a guideline for people for your team to come. If your marketing team, you find out this information, you give them the information that you found out during the market research, they'll be able to come up with a strategy that is going to work. So it is very important to share the information with your team, and they'll be able to keep up with the trends. Like they'll be able to find out what is going on, what they will need to do, and you'll be able to work together effectively, because it will guide you in the right direction in where you're supposed to be going. Yeah. Especially if you find out information that they need to track what's going on, the new trends and so on. So it is very important to share what you found out with your team, being able to guide them. What direction are we supposed to be taking? Where are we supposed to be going? What products are we supposed to be providing? Are we supposed to change the product line? Are you to suit the people? Should we diversify, or should you supply a certain type of product? Maybe that product is needed more than other products. Maybe you can put the others on hold. So if you share this information with them, they'll be able to know what we're supposed to do, how we're supposed to grow as a team, because a business without a team, it would not work. So when you find out information in the market research, share it with your team. You sit down, you discuss what's best, how can we go about in running our business in order to make it a success. Pardon me. So the fifth tip is you need to have a clear opinion of research methods that you will be using. We have a lot of research methods around there, and not every research method is going to work for all research projects. So you need to know what you need to do, what type of methods you're supposed to use, because we have many different research methods. For example, you have qualitative, you have quantitative, you have interviews, observations, and so on. So you need to know what methods you're going to use before you conduct your research. If you want to know maybe your customers, you can do some interviews. Maybe you can do a survey. You can put out questionnaires just to see what they want and what they actually need. So the research method is also very important, because not all methods are going to work for certain types of businesses or certain types of research that you're going to be doing. If you're trying to find out if your maybe target is a huge population, what you can do is you can use maybe a questionnaires, find out, and then you see, maybe you can generalize from the information that you got. But for others, you need quality results. So maybe you might want to go in the direction of you doing a qualitative research. So it is very important to know what method, and the methods are not limited. You can use multiple research methods in order to find out the information, but these methods should be relevant in what you're trying to find out and what you're actually trying to achieve. So this is important because not all methods are going to work for all research projects, but it doesn't mean that you're limited. Try to find out what methods you can use as a company, what is going to work for you, what will push your business out there, and is the method that you're going to use going to give you the information that you actually need. So there's so many ways in finding out information, and it's very important. Like I said, marketing research is an ongoing process. It never ends because the world is always changing. You always need to find out new ways of providing a service or providing a product to your customers. You always need to find out the new trends, what is going on in the world. You always need to keep up to date for your business to be successful and for your business to grow. So there's so many ways you can do market research. You just need to find out what works best for you and what is efficient so that you don't use a lot of resources to do a research that will not yield any result. So it's very crucial to know the type of market you're in, the type of customers, your target market, your competitors. You need to know all these things before you start your business. I think it's very important to do that while you're in the business, and while the business is growing, you always need to continue to do the market research because times are always changing. Before we started Find, the idea came about because we didn't have a platform where we could buy something online. And when we came up with this idea, it was great at the time in 2017. The way we wanted to do it was great as they classified, like the way I said. But when we did more market research, we started finding out, okay, this is not what the people need. We need to cater it to how the people will feel safe in using that site. And we did a testing of the product and the site itself. Is it user-friendly? You get feedback from your customers, like, is it easy for them to use? Is it difficult? What changes can you make? And also we looked at on our side, the people handling everything. Is it easy for us to use? Is it easy to add products? Is it easily accessible? What improvements can we make? When we started, we thought it's perfect, but when it went out in the market, you find out more information. Before we do a launch, you test the product, you find out information. What can we improve? What better things can we do? And now, as we continue to do our market research, we come up with new ways, like, does the website or the app need to be faster? What can we do in order to enable that? And we come up with answers to these questions through market research. And it's been very helpful for us. So thank you so much. That is all I had for you today. I hope it's helpful. And thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. If anyone has any questions for Tracy, you can leave them in the Q&A chat box so we can get to it after the next session. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop in the Q&A session. this is where we help business owners with tools and resources they need to grow their business. So we started this during last year when the COVID restrictions happened. So we decided to find a way that we can help help small businesses grow despite the pandemic. So this is where Flutterwave Store was birthed. So Flutterwave Store is the simplest and easiest way to launch your business online. So you don't need a website, you don't need to code. All you have to do with Flutterwave Store is have a list of your products, upload your images, set your prices, and you can also integrate delivery partners to pick up for your customers, pick up from you and deliver to your customers. So you don't really have to go through all the stress of paying for a hosting website or anything. So all you have to do is just sign up on flutterwave.com and create your store, upload your items and everything else that you need. And then you can just share your link with your customers. So it was, like I said earlier, it was conceived during the pandemic. So it's our way of keeping the lights on. And if you like to create a Flutterwave account, or if you don't already have one, you can go to www.flutterwave.com/dashboard. And you can either sign in and sign up. So when you log on your left side of the dashboard, you would see where it says store. So when you create your store, you get to put your logo, you get to upload your pictures, get to put what your business is about, to set prices. And then funny thing is that we now have a discount feature. So if you're having if you're having a promo, you can always share the discount feature to your customers. So if you have loyal customers, if you have, like Easter is coming, so if you want to do an Easter promo, you can always set out your discount code. So what are the benefits of the Flutterwave store? So there's no website required. Allows for product listing. So you can have one product having 3 different colors, size, and also quantity. So you can have that feature there. And then you have your inventory management. So you can manage how much you have of each product. There's also, it comes with the integrated delivery system, but that's in the works. But if you have a local delivery partner, you can always just put in the amount of delivery. So you can always have, you can pay however you want to. Your customers can pay however they want to. So they can pay via bank transfer, USSD, QR code. If you are in Uganda, you can pay by M-Pesa. There is also pay with PayPal now. So you can also pay with PayPal. So it's also easy setup. You don't need a developer. It accepts local and international cards. So it's just not local transactions. So if you have friends in UK, US, they can also still pay for you. So how does a transaction work? So customers select the items they want to buy from your store. Example, you can be like, if my store name is Lux by Nature, they can select each item they want to, then they proceed to checkout. You impute your personal and delivery information on the online form displayed, and then the customer can reconfirm that information before going ahead to pay for their products. So, so this is an example of how it looks like. So you see the list, or just show me the list of items the customer buys. You have the payment model too, and then you have the preferred option they want to pay from. So, sorry, next slide. And here, once the order has been fulfilled, you get a payment successful and it's sent to your email address to, again, just confirm your orders. And then the merchant can also just reach out to you if anything else is missing. So, sorry, next slide. So as a merchant, I can always go back to my dashboard, and I also get an email to see which orders were successful and which one failed on my dashboard. And I also have data analytics. So I can basically just see my transaction history. I can see what option my customers prefer to pay with. I can also see what products are selling more on my Flutterwave store. And I can also see how I can also send invoices automatically to the customers.